Hi, hello students. Welcome to Let's Understand Physics. For more concepts, please like, share and subscribe. So, have you ever observed if you are sitting in a plastic chair, if you just put your hand, you feel the hair on your hand is straightened, and if you go to TV also, if you put your hand in front of TV screen also, you feel that your hair on your hand is raising, means it is becoming straight. Have you observed this? So if you have observed this, have you ever thought why is it happening? So let me just do some small experiment in front of you. I have just taken some paper, white paper strips. Okay, let us take some white paper strips here. So I just taken one paper, I just cut them into small pieces. I have taken one comb. If I just put comb like this, there is no change. I'll just take this comb and I'll just rub this on my hair and I will put this comb. So have you observed some paper small pieces have come and attracted towards it? They are still on this. Okay, initially why these papers have not attracted to this comb and now why they have attracted to this comb? This is because of the charge. See, again now they are not attracting. Okay, so you can do this with straw and paper also. Okay, now we'll see why is this happening. You might have thought or understood this in your classes from 6th to 8th also. In detail we'll see why it has happened, and this has already done by scientists in 16th 17th century itself. So we are just learning about these things. So this has happened because of some quality. It is just due to a fundamental quality of some mass. So any object will have this due to its atoms. You know already every body is made up of atoms. Due to these atoms, you know about atoms, isn't it? Atoms from basics we are going to learn now. It will be useful for class 10 and class 12 also. Now, if I am telling mass is made up of atoms, mass is made up of atoms. Any object, for example, you can take this pen also, you can take that comb, book, paper, all these have certain mass. So all of them are made up of atoms. You have learned in chemistry atomic model. So atoms have 3 subatomic particles. So in these 3 subatomic particles, we know protons, electrons and neutrons. So atomic model or atomic structure is given by different scientists. It is same like our solar system. It is same like our solar system. So our solar system is, we have sun in the middle and around the sun in different paths. These paths are called orbits. In different orbits we have 9, isn't it? Or 8 planets. 9th planet is removed, so we can now take only 8 planets. So planets will be revolving around this sun. Now in atomic structure we have similar kind. How you have sun here in the center, you have nucleus. You have nucleus in the center. Around this nucleus you have orbits. Now in the nucleus you have protons and neutrons. Nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons, and around this you have electrons revolving in the orbits. So here orbits we call electrons. In nucleus you have protons and neutrons. So when you are just touching any object which has mass, you don't feel these phenomena. Now also we have seen this experiment. Just if you have these paper pieces and the comb, you have not observed any attraction between them. But once I have rubbed comb on my hair and when I place it near, you have observed the papers are attracting towards the comb. Why is it so? We are going to learn now. That is the fundamental property which we call it as charge. What do we call? It is charge. Okay. Now due to these subatomic particles, we have protons, positive charged particles, electrons, negatively charged particles, and neutrons, no charge. They are neutral, no charged particles. So every object and every atom in the object has number of protons is equal to number of electrons. Number of protons is equal to number of electrons. This is the reason when you just touch it, you will not have any attraction, repulsion or any other thing. They will be neutral. They will be neutral generally. But we can make them charged. There are three methods of charging. There are three methods of charging. Initially, how it is observed? When you just take a glass rod, means rod made up of glass, and a silk cloth. Take these two and rub glass rod and silk cloth. Then glass rod will become positively charged and silk cloth is becoming negatively charged. So it is negative charge, silk cloth, and glass rod is positively charged. That means what is happening? Actually they are neutral, but once they rubbed, it is charged. Okay, their state is changing. How this is changing, we will learn. See now, these electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Now when they are revolving, there is some attraction towards the center. Same like your solar system, you have all the planets will have attraction towards the sun. That energy or force we call it as gravitational force. In the same way you will have by the nucleus, all the electrons will be revolving around their own orbits. As the orbits are going away from the nucleus, this attraction gradually decreases. The attraction force what they have gradually decreases. Due to this, whenever the temperature, generally we have room temperature, isn't it? Due to sun we get nature, due to that you get temperature. So metals or any other object, they take that solar energy. As they are taking this solar energy, as they are revolving, you will get, you in the sense these electrons will get kinetic energy. When they are revolving around this nucleus in their own orbit, sometimes they will just come out of the orbit. Okay, the valence electrons means the electrons which are far away from the nucleus are in the last orbit of the nucleus, we call them as valence electrons. When this kinetic energy is increasing, these electrons sometimes they just come out of their orbit. So those electrons which are coming out of their orbit, we call them as free electrons. We call them as free electrons. So these free electrons sometimes will go to the other body. Sometimes they will just transfer from this body to the other body when the other body is in contact with that body. Okay. So we'll see the first thing what scientists have observed is whenever the two bodies are in contact or there is some rubbing action done on the bodies, they have observed the atoms have electrons and these electrons are able to transfer from one body to another body. Okay, like say here glass rod and silk cloth we have taken. Glass rod has electrons, protons. In the same way silk cloth also has electrons and protons. When these two are rubbed like this, some of the electrons, only electrons can be transferred. Okay, protons will be in the nucleus and they will be tightly connected with the nucleus. Only electrons can be transferred. Remember this. Only electrons are movable. Now some of the electrons from glass rod will go to the silk cloth. So initially what we have, number of protons should be equal to number of electrons, then this will be neutral. If some electrons are going, what happens? Protons will become greater than electrons. When protons are greater than electrons, this body we call it as positively charged body. Positively charged body. If electrons got transferred to this other body, isn't it? It has already some electrons and now again extra electrons have been come to that body. In this case what happens? Electrons, number of electrons will become more than number of protons. So what do we call this body? As number of electrons are more, we call it as negatively charged body. I hope all of you understood this. See, initially here also P is equal to E means number of NP is equal to Ne, number of protons is equal to number of electrons. So here also number of protons is equal to number of electrons. Due to this rubbing, what has happened? Some of the electrons from this have traveled to silk cloth. So glass rod number of protons have become more than number of electrons. Here number of protons have become less than number of electrons. So which has more protons or less number of electrons, we call it as positively charged. Which has more electrons, we call it as negatively charged. This has been done due to rubbing. So rubbing we call it as friction. So the first method we call it as friction. So by friction you can make any object either positively charged or negatively charged. Due to this charge you can identify some attraction or repulsion in the object. Okay, that is what we have done first, this experiment, the paper pieces and the comb. We have other methods also. So second method is conduction. Second method is conduction. So in this you have to take one charged body. For example, I'll just take this glass only, so it is positive charge, isn't it? So I'm just taking positive charged body here, the one charged body which is positive, and the second one I'm taking uncharged or neutral body. This is neutral only. Okay. Now when you just make them touch each other, in conduction you have to keep both the bodies in contact. When you keep them in contact, this is NP is equal to NE in this. So for this sphere, NP is greater than NE. So here protons are greater than electrons. When these two are in contact, they are touched. So for this sphere, NP is greater than NE when they are in contact with each other. That means they are touching each other. So here it has excess protons, means the protons number is greater than electrons number. This excess charge will be transferred to this. That means how it is transferring. See, here you have free electrons. In this sphere you have free electrons. So these free electrons will be attracted towards this positive charge. Here free electrons, that means negative charge, will be attracted towards this positive charge, so that some of the positive charge will be, means this excess protons number will be decreased. Understood what I have told? So here free electrons are going to this positively charged sphere, so that some of the protons which are more, that number will become less. Yes or no? Whatever more, if you have 10 protons more than electrons, some electrons are going and joining here, so some 5 electrons are going and joining here, till both of them will become same potential. Both of them will get same charge. Till then they will be transferring electrons. So after that what happens? Both will become positively charged, but comparatively here the charge will become less, and here also it becomes positively charged. Understood how it has become positive charge? Free electrons got transferred here, so that here number of protons are more than number of electrons. Here already protons are more, so that protons will be greater only, so both will become positively charged. So this process we call it as conduction. Next we'll see last method of charging, we call it as induction. So in induction method the charges are induced. So here also you have to take one, so again positive charge sphere and one uncharged sphere. So here protons is equal to electrons, here again protons is greater than electrons. In this process these two need not to be in contact. If they are nearby also, due to this positive charge, this uncharged sphere has electrons and protons, right? So all the free electrons will come towards this positively charged body due to attraction, and the positive charges will be the other side. Now here all the negative charges, here all the positive charges. Now if you just take this charged body, if you are earthing this excess positive, whatever positive charge is there, that will be earthed. This negative charge will be like this only, because this negative charge is in the attraction of positive charge. That's why there is no change in this negative charge, only this positive charge will be earthed. Okay, so here in induction what has happened? You will get opposite charge. So this uncharged body will be getting opposite charge. In conduction we have same charge for the uncharged body. So what is this earthing? So now only I have shown you this experiment. Once you charge the comb, after some time again if you use the same comb, it will not work. Okay, what is happening to this charged comb? Due to the charge present in this comb only, the papers are able to get attracted. One more time I will show you. See, initially there is no charge, that's why there is no attraction. You can see as I am rubbing this comb on the dry hair, they are coming and attracting. So you can see here they came and attracted. Now again comb, I am just placing the same comb here, they are not getting attracted. Initially it got attracted due to the charge, the friction between the hair and the comb, it got some charge and these are uncharged, that's why they got attracted towards this. Now after some time again it is not attracting, it has lost its charge. How it has lost its charge? So the charge whatever it has, it will pass through me and it will go to the earth as I am standing on the earth. Okay, the same way this positive charge will go to earth. We'll see how earth will take the charge, why earth will take the charge in the next video. So I've taught this charge, I'm using this charge, positive charge, negative charge. So what is the chapter I am explaining to you? So did you get idea? So I am explaining electricity. So this is not there in detail for you in class 10, but class 12 students it will be useful. So we'll see this electricity chapter in detail in next video. So this is just introduction. So from where all this electricity phenomena has started. Okay, now we know without electricity we cannot live. For anything and everything we need electricity. If anything it may be, that means whether any profession you are or any time it is, we need electricity for all our necessities. So if you need electricity, some basic information you should know about electricity. So in electricity, generally in India, we have some place where electricity got generated. So that we call it as generation. After that, it will be sending the generation where it got generated will be sending to some substation. Okay, from that substation they will send it to our homes. Okay, so this is generation. So in the substation we call it as transmission. And transmission, we have the substations so many types. Okay, I am just taking transmission. From transmission it is coming to homes, that is distribution. In homes we use this electricity for all our necessities. So nowadays for everything we have machines and all these machines will work on electricity only. Why I am telling especially about this is, so generation is majorly due to coal and water in our country. 70% will be on these two only. Rest of 30% we have alternate sources. So when you are going to higher classes, when you are going for engineering, then it will be very important for you to choose in engineering any of these alternate sources of electricity generation in your further studies, so that it will be helpful for not only India, for entire world, so that as we are just increasing, there is increase in consumption, but generation, we need coal and water. You know already about coal, yes or no? That's why it is very important to look for alternate sources of generation of electricity. So if you harness alternate sources only, our life will go happily. That's why it is advisable for you to think and to give some solution about these alternate sources of energy in future. So thank you. We will learn in detail about electricity, and from the next videos I will teach you what is there in your textbook for class 10 students, and it will be useful for class 12 also, as it becomes basics for you. Okay, thank you so much. Please subscribe for more concepts, and share and comment and let me know how am I teaching and also how you are able to understand or not. Then I will just think whether I have to make it fast or I have to make still slow. Okay, thank you.